when I was really starting to think about wanting to go gray, I was at that time actually getting highlights put into my hair. I remember asking my hairdresser if there was a way of actually using my gray hair as highlights, because at that time what they would do would be coloring my roots with dark brown, and then turning around and using and then adding the highlights. And when I asked, can we, not do that and just grow out my grays, use those, I was told that no, that wasn't how it was done. When I did mention that I was interested in going gray, my hairdresser was like, no, that'll just, I was discouraged from doing that. And I have heard from lots of women that their hairdresser does discourage them as well, telling them that they will look old and that sort of thing. So that's when I had decided I wanted to start dabbling a bit on my own. I actually did have a lot of fun, and I did save myself a lot of money. And it was really funny how my hairdresser wasn't able to blend my grays, yet I could. So it's my personal opinion that they don't want you to go gray, and they'll discourage you because in their mind, they're thinking, I'm going to lose a customer, or at least lose the money that you're spending on coloring your hair. And that's a lot. They also aren't maybe willing or interested in going back and getting that additional training when dealing with gray hair. And they're doing themselves a big disservice, because the ones that are then able to, they don't have as much competition, and they're able to ask top dollar for those services. I always think of Jack Martin. He was one who mastered his technique, and he's able to transition a woman in one day. But I haven't checked lately, but I know at one point I did. He's able to ask $4,000 to start, and you have to actually fly to him. So that the demographic is getting larger and larger of women and men who have gray hair, and they are still going to want services. There's highlights, there's lowlights, there's temporary color solutions, there's root smudges, there's balayage, and the beauty is it doesn't get much lighter than your gray white hair. So you don't then have to go through the bleaching process. So people need to really start thinking outside the box and realize just how many options they really do have. Just because we're going gray does not mean that we're not going to want to change it up, that we're still going to want to have fun with our hair. And so if you find a hairdresser who is willing to do all of that and knows those techniques, hold on to them for dear life and share them with your friends.